The fifth of our 6 battles is, of course, perhaps the single most important battle that ever took place after the time of the Prophet ﷺ. It is a battle that every Muslim should know, every Muslim should be aware of, especially in light of current political circumstances, and that is the famous Battle of Hattin that took place in the year 583 Hijrah. And of course, the Battle of Hattin is the famous battle where the greatest general after Khalid ibn Al Walid, and that is Salahudin Al Ayubi, reconquered our city of Jerusalem from the invading crusaders after it had been in Frankish hands, in European hands, for over 93 years. And the Battle of Hattin was a final assault that Salahuddin Ayubi had been planning for many years. And the Battle of Hattin took place once again in the final days of Ramadan in the year 583 AH. In fact, on the final day of the battle, the soldiers spent most of the night praying Taraweeh and Tahajjud. Most of the night they were praying Taraweeh and Tahajjud, asking Allah for victory, because they realized that without dua, nothing would happen. Without Allah being on their side, there was no point in all of the army and the weapons that they had. And so it was in the final days of Ramadan that Salahuddin Al Ayubi won over the Frankish kingdoms, and he entered the city of Jerusalem. And as we all know, when the Christians had entered Jerusalem 90 years ago, they slaughtered every single man, woman and child, and the streets of Jerusalem were flowing with Muslim blood. We all know when Salahuddin entered the city, the Christians were trembling, thinking justly that Salahuddin should do as they did unto them. As you do unto others, it shall be done unto you. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. This is the law of humanity. They believed Salahuddin would do the same thing to them, and they were trembling and begging for their lives. And the king was on his knees begging for his life. And Salahuddin gave that famous response that the Prophet ﷺ taught us when he conquered Mecca, to forgive and to turn the other cheek. Go, for you are free today. So Salahuddin Al Ayubi did not do as the Christians had done when they conquered Jerusalem, and he guaranteed safe passage to every single person. Because you know, mobs get angry, troops get angry. He had troops stationing to protect the Christians from the angry mobs, Muslim mobs, from the angry troops, that nobody is going to harm them. And he let every single man, woman and child, the same people that had been fighting the Muslims, even the soldiers, were forgiven. And this act of magnanimity won the hearts of Europe. So to this day, Saladin is a hero even amongst the non-Muslims because of this act of generosity. Once again, it took place. When did it take place? In the holy month of Ramadan. Look at all of these conquests. Conquests in the east, conquests in the west, conquests in the heart of Islam. And all of them are taking place in the month of Ramadan. And inshallah, from this we gain that just like the Ummah conquered its external foes, no matter how big they were, no matter how diverse they were, we as Muslims can conquer our internal foes. We can conquer our personal vices and sins, no matter how diverse they are, no matter how great they might seem.